Hi everyone. Hope all of you are very good, enjoying yourself. Today I'm back with the second chapter of macroeconomics, which is basic concepts. Here we will be talking about many basic concepts of national income, of macroeconomics, which you will be studying further ahead when we are covering macroeconomics. This chapter will be covered in two parts. This is the first part. The first part, what is domestic territory? What do you mean by the term domestic territory? So I mean, in case of a political point of view, when we talk of macroeconomics, we are basically only talking about the political frontiers of the country. So I mean, the boundaries of the country as shown in this particular diagram. But when we are talking from an economic point of view, we are talking about political frontiers plus, I've written over here, ships and aircrafts owned by normal residents of the country, which float between two or more countries. So, I mean, for example, Air India's aircrafts which are moving between India and UK, India and USA, and many other countries. I mean, they may be moving between three countries as well. They may be going from here to Dubai and from Dubai to UK. So those aircrafts. Apart from that, ships of, I mean, any Indian company or a shipping company owns all the amounts of ships that they own. They are moving in between the world. I mean, wherever they are moving, they are a part of domestic territory of the country. Fishing vessels of India. Fishing vessels of India, as in the small boats which are used for fishing, the oil and natural gas rigs that are there, the floating platforms that are operated by any resident of the country, uh, or any resident of the country, any organization that has its base from the country, all that also is a part of domestic territory of India. Apart from that, the embassies, the consulates, and the military establishments of the country. So you know what embassies are, right? uh, Indian embassy, consulate basically is an office where officers from government of India reside, and they talk about their country, and they make sure that all that is happening across the world is uh, with regard to benefit for their own country. So these are, and every country where we have embassies and consulates requires a certain amount of military establishments to protect their people within them. Now when we look at the domestic territory of the country, we are obviously looking any of these. If we are looking at, so if there is any aircraft of India which is moving anywhere, whatever profits it's earning, the ships that are moving, the fishing vessels, the embassies, whatever income is being generated by them is a part, because they're a part of domestic territory, that income is also a part of the domestic income of the country. Now coming on to what is not a part of domestic territory of the country. Now if not if there are military establishments, there are consulates offices, there are embassies of different countries in India, and none of them are a part of domestic territory of India, even when they are inside the political frontier of India. Do you understand by this term? So basically, if you've seen in Delhi, if you go to South Delhi area, all the people who are living in Delhi, if you go to South Delhi area, near Lajpat Nagar market and all that, you will see a lot of embassies offices, right? All those embassies offices are, though they are within India, they are not a part of the domestic territory of India. Apart from that, international organizations like UNO, WHO, which are located within the geographical, in Delhi we have UNO office, we have WHO office, all in the South Delhi area, and none of them are a part of the domestic territory of India. Now, the second term that we are looking at today is normal resident. Who is a normal resident? Now, there is a difference between a normal resident and a citizen, all right? Normal resident is someone who is living in a country. That someone can be an individual, that someone can be an institution. Now, someone living in a country, residing in a country, and someone who has economic interest also in that country, right? Now, what do we mean by the term economic interest? By the term economic interest means that you either reside in that country or your offices are located in the domestic territory of a country, right? And the basic economic activity, center of economic interest means the basic economic activities of what? Of earning, पैसा कमा रहे हो, spending, पैसा खर्च कर रहे हो, accumulating, saving the money. Within that location, you are a normal resident of that particular country. You can be a normal resident of a country without being the citizen of a particular country. All right. Now, who are not the normal residents of a country? Foreign tourists and visitors who come to India. They stay in India for some time and for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then go away. Staff of foreign embassies, officials, diplomats, armed forces, all those people are not normal resident. Why? Because they are already living in a particular part which is not a part of domestic territory of India. Okay, if you're not living within the domestic territory of India, you cannot be a normal resident. Employees of international organizations. Now, international organizations like WHO, UNO, IMF, all those people. Apart from that, crew of foreign vessels, commercial travelers, and seasonal workers. Now, crew of foreign vessels, as in crew of any shipping company that is from abroad, crew of aircraft, Lufthansa aircraft, people, the pilots, the crew members, all those are not to be considered the normal resident of any particular country because they're continuously moving from one country to the other. Commercial travelers. Now, commercial travelers, there are lots of commercial travelers these days. We hear people traveling, we see people traveling. There are so many travel blogs. We know these people travel from one country to the other, so they are not normal resident of any particular country for that matter, right? And there are seasonal workers also. Now, we share boundaries with a lot of countries, and with some countries we have very favorable relations as well in terms of work. So there may be some people who may be coming from Sri Lanka to India, Nepal to India. For some seasons, they come to India, they work here, so they are seasonal workers. They are not to be considered the normal resident of India. Apart from that, there are border workers also. So there are some people from Nepal who every day travel to India, work in India. In the evening, probably they go back home. There are some people in India who probably go to Nepal every single day, come back home because they share. I mean, the borders are very close. So they are also not the normal residents of India. Now, what is the difference between residentship and citizenship? Citizenship is a legal concept. You become the citizen of a place if you are born in that place, or if you provided the legal documents, you left the citizenship of your country and you attained the citizenship of that particular country. For example, in case of India, if you are the citizen of India, if you're born in India, for example, I am the citizen of India, I was born in India, right? You are also the citizen of India if you're born in India, or you may be the citizen of India if your parents or you yourself have come to India, you liked India, you wanted to leave the citizenship of your country and you wanted to move to India, so you submitted your paper and you got an Indian passport. So that is citizenship, right? Now, residentship is basically an economic activity. Is it an economic concept which is performed by a person? Any person can be a resident of a particular country if he resides in a particular country for almost a little more than a year and does all the economic activities here. The economic activities that we are talking about is कमा रहा है, earning, spending, खर्चा कर रहा है, and accumulating, saving as well. Now, third concept, which is factor income and transfer income. The factor income we've talked about in the previous chapter as well. Factor income is the income earned by the factors of production for the services that they provide during the production process. Now, these factor services are uh, land or building, capital, and there are workers who are working, there are entrepreneurs, so the land or building gets rent, the capital gets interest, the workers get wages or salaries, and the businessman or the entrepreneur gets profit. So that is factor income. Now, if you look at transfer income is a one-sided income. You do not have to वर्क फॉर ट्रांसफर इनकम, ट्रांसफर इनकम के बदले हमने कोई प्रोडक्टिव सर्विस नहीं प्रोवाइड करी है, सो देयर इज नथिंग ऑफ यूज दैट यू हैव प्रोवाइडेड for transfer income. So transfer income for that matter is income which is provided by anyone for the benefit or the welfare of someone, right? For example, the government provides old age pensions, the government provides scholarships for the poor children. So all these are transfer incomes. You do not have to do any kind of work for them. The government provides transfer income to people who the government feels they need the transfer income, and for that transfer income they do not have to do anything for the government for that matter. Also, for that matter, one more thing that I would like to point out here is factor income is included in the domestic income or national income of the country, whereas transfer income, because it is a one-sided income, we have not worked for it, not to be included in the national income of the country. If you are willing, if you're at some point of time calculating disposable income is income which is spent by you, so in that income you can add on transfer income. Now let us assess what we learned. Which of the following can be classified as domestic territory of India? I have given two questions. Indian Embassy in Canada, Office of Tata Consultancy in America. Then there's one more question. Give an example of a person who's staying abroad and still be treated as the normal resident of India. And there is an assertion and reasoning question. You can tell us whether you feel the assertion is correct, the reason is correct, both are correct, whatever you feel. Factor income is a bilateral income is the assertion, and the reason is factor income is provided for the benefit of the people. Thank you everyone. Hope you are enjoying my videos. Please make sure to subscribe at Bodo Economics. I will keep coming up with such more videos. And after I complete chapter 2 of macroeconomics, I'm planning to move on to class 11th as well. And I'll come up with more such videos of microeconomics and other topics as well. Thank you. Have a nice day. Have fun. I also keep learning.